you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. And we're just getting everybody tuned in. Good morning, Tracy Wilkinson. And hello, Barbara Collins. Welcome, everyone. I'll just give you a little rundown of what events we have coming up. We have Jamie later on today. Jamie, if you're, first of all, I suggest that you tune into all the lives and decide which medium is your vibration, because I swear I've had people come to me, and then if they just didn't get exactly what they were looking for, I might send them to somebody else and say, you know what, Sarah would probably give you more of that. And that sounds like that's really what you need. And all of us are a different vibration. That's the beauty of mediumship. And I always suggest that you take a minute to, kind of get to know each medium, read what their post says, see what their comments are, watch their live, get to know them a little bit. You'll do so much better. You'll be so much happier with your reading. And if you're ever not happy with your reading at Psychic Insights, you can just come back and let me know. And I'll probably give you your money back, and I'll also give you a coupon for next time, because I want to make it up to you, because we want you to walk away feeling really good about your reading. We're not here to take your money and then leave you high and dry. Okay. So welcome everyone. I'm glad you're here and glad people are tuning in. Hi, Barbara, and hi, Pre's Digital Journal. I'm sure that's not your name. Maybe their name is Pre. Nikki said, hi, Sarah and Hollis. I just left your province, Sarah, on my way back to Newfoundland.
Oh, hi, Nikki.
It was my first time back to AB since my boyfriend passed up there. Yeah, it had to be hard, huh, Nikki? Like, just kind of going through an area where, yeah. Just going back and visiting those areas. I know even when I drive by, like, my dad's old apartment complex, I have a hard time. Like, when I look at it, he was handicapped and he lived in like this big, huge place. And yeah. And I know the first few times it was hard. It's gotten easier now, now, but it's, like 30, it's like 20 something years later or something. So
I can agree with you on that. Both Hollis and Nikki. I have to drive by daily the hospital where my son passed, and it's coming up 3 years next month. And you know what? I still don't look at it. I pretend it's not there, but it's okay, because, one day I'll look at it and be okay with it.
Yeah, it'll change. And then instead of it being like a bad memory, it's more like an honoring. And then now when I see it, if I drive by that area, I'll be like, I love you, Dad. Like, it just kind of reminds me of him. So, yeah, Nikki, it's only been 3 months. You're still fresh. Still fresh there. All right, Pre. So that's their name. Their name is Pre.
Nice to meet you.
And we also have Linda in the mediums group, and Tracy and Yada Marie. Good morning. And Carrie Smith. Hello, everyone. And what we're going to do here in just a little bit. Hi, Joe Jennifer. We're going to do some spirit-led readings, which is where Sarah's going to just start channeling whatever spirits are coming through, and hopefully they'll match up with somebody here. And then what we'll then hopefully you'll listen, and that's the whole idea, is that you listen to what Sarah's saying and see if it matches with anyone that you know on the other side. And when it does, then you should speak up. Just, say what matches. Even if it's like one thing doesn't match, that's okay. It's very normal. Medium, sometimes we misinterpret things or just misunderstand. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but if it's most things or okay, just let us know, speak up, say something, comment, let us know what matches. Hi, Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
And hi, Shauna Lynn. Welcome. And Kirsty Kurt said, good evening from Scotland, UK. Would love to hear from my girl if she comes through. Okay, thank you, Kirsty. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yada Marie's hoping for her daughter. Great. So I'm sure some spirits will come through in just a bit. I just want to make sure we have a pretty good crowd here. So welcome, everyone. And so, Sarah, why don't you tell them a little bit about your story?
Well, hello, everyone. And I just want to say thank you. And I'm so appreciative of everyone joining today. I'm so used to doing them at night. I almost said night. So when I was a child, I was able to hear spirits. They sounded more like whispered conversations, but I didn't really pay too much attention to them because I was a kid. And then I grew up. I still would hear them once in a while, but I did nothing about it. And then in November of 2021, my life it felt like the rug just got pulled right from it. My only son and my oldest child, I had him when I was 15, so I grew up with him. Ended up passing away very, very suddenly from COVID complications. He was 20 years old, a month shy of his 21st birthday. And like everyone who has felt a loss, whether it be your spouse, your parents, siblings, best friend, even your best four-legged friend, it just crushes you. And that's how I was for a good month. And then I started thinking, no, wait, I'm not ready to just say goodbye. So I learned how to say hello again. I started off with meditations, and then I found the group Mediumship, Communicating with the Dead, Grief and Loss. And like everyone here, I started going on the lives, and then I booked a discovery meeting with Hollis, and that meeting was a changing point for me, because not only did Hollis explain in the death astrology, and it wasn't just about that explanation of like mine and my son's life chart together, but the fact that they listened to me. And when I was brave enough to say, I'm trying to open up my abilities, Hollis, they didn't say, oh no, you can't do that. No, instead they encouraged me, and I kind of took off from there. So now I'm doing these readings for everyone else and helping you say hello again. it not only helps you, but it helps me in a big way. My son, Jonah, and I always show his picture because this is my pride and joy. This is my baby. This is the first person that really taught me what love is. Unconditional, undying love. And you know what? It wasn't me that taught him, it was him that taught me. I remember being that 15-year-old, just had a baby, scared out of my mind, didn't know what to do. And I remember walking up to him and looking at him in his little bassinet at the hospital. And I remember he had his eyes closed and I said, "Hi, baby." And he opened his eyes slowly and looked at me. And I could just see in his little tiny face, I could like feel him saying, "So you're the voice." And it was just, I've never felt a love so pure, so understanding. And 20 years later, at the same hospital that I gave birth to him, I had to walk in the room once more after he passed. And I said the exact same things to him. "Hi, baby." Except this time he didn't open his eyes. So I did what I always have done. I sang to him. I told him, "You come back to me." And that night, I remember sitting on the couch, my daughter's sitting beside me, and I happened to look over down the hallway at his bedroom door that was open, and his light was off. And all of a sudden I heard click, and his light turned on, and then click, it turned off. And then I said, "Jonah," and it turned on one more time. And that was him saying, "I'm here, Mom." So that was a big part for me too, knowing that, just because our physical life here doesn't go on forever, we still go on. And now it's my mission, my honor to help you say hello to your loved ones and let you know that just because they physically aren't here anymore, their life is still carrying on. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So again, thank you everyone for coming here. And I want to say thank you to all of your loved ones who are here, and thank you to my son because he helps bring them forward.
Yeah, and there's tons of people here, and lots of mediums are that way, Kat. And lots of mediums start off by experiencing, most mediums, almost every medium I know, starts off with losing someone, and then they come to the awareness that they have. And somehow doing and practicing and learning mediumship, even studying mediumship through the act of that, heals the grief. So, Shauna, there's a class at the end of the month. It's just $20, Shauna. There's a class at the end of the month, and I train people as well. I do mentorship, so you can just check it out. Just go to the events area, and you should see it. And so some other people here that have also lost their children. And I know that that's got to be so hard. Bianca said, "I'm so sorry, Sarah. I lost my son 2 years ago in January." Sounds like she understands. Hi, Janie Long. And Yada Marie said that Jonah's beautiful.
Yeah.
And Amanda said hi. And Anne-Marie. Hi, Anne-Marie Graham. Welcome. Hi. Michelle Glass is here. And Maggie said, "What a beautiful story you have, Sarah." I agree. I think it's a beautiful story. That's why I'm always like, "Okay, Sarah, tell us your story."
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
A lot of people like to hear it. I think they like to, then they know that you can relate. I also think, Sarah, that's what makes you incredibly compassionate, is because your experience was so hard. One of the things that I know for sure is that when people heal from really hard things, I mean really, really hard things, they tend to overshoot. So like, here's the line of success. And, they start way down here. And because people are starting way down here somewhere, they tend to overshoot and they tend to get way up here. And that is a fact. That is pretty much everywhere. When a person from really hard heals, they heal like quadruple. So,
Yeah.
All right. I'm not sure, Nikki, you meant to say that. When Sarah tells her story, she put Satan. I'm not going to put it up. And I was like, why are we talking about Satan all of a sudden?
Oh my gosh, Nikki, that makes me laugh because I'm sure once in a while I've been called that.
I'm sure somebody thinks you're Satan. Oh my gosh.
Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Right. Welcome, Eileen. Welcome. Eileen said, thank you so much for sharing your story and journey with us. And Samantha said, we appreciate your compassion. Samantha, Sarah was just like you, and she was just learning and practicing just like you are now. And Kim Koistra said, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. The one thing that I realized now that I forgot to mention, and I'm going to give a huge shout out to Hollis because I always do. But the one thing that Hollis did teach me is to believe in myself. And that's what I will always tell each and every one of you if you book a reading with me, or even now, is to believe in yourself, trust in what you receive and what you get. And also give your loved ones time to learn to send signs. What I've been hearing loud and clear from Spirit is that just how when we are learning new things here in life, it takes time. Have patience, but above all, trust. And in Spirit, they're still learning new. I had one person just speak up and say, tricks. We're learning new tricks. They also mentioned, I'm an old dog, but I'm learning new tricks. So I'm excited to see this person come through.
All right. Well, let's see who we got. Welcome, Patty and Anna, Gurgle, and Bindley. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. So the first gentleman that I have stepping forward, so how he presents himself to me. He's coming in and he's kind of a little bit hunched over. He's showing me him walking with a cane. This cane, the handle kind of goes like out like this, and then it drops. It's a black cane. So for him, he is showing me that on the bottom of this cane, it's not just the one. It has like a thing that has like the 4 prongs on it to help steady easier. He does let me know that he did have a lot of pain in his lower back. So with his hair, he is bald on top, and he's saying it's a traditional cul-de-sac hairstyle. His facial features, how I see it, so his nose, he has a very prominent bump on it, and then it's like kind of more pointed. He had a habit of holding his head like this, and he has very bushy white eyebrows. And I do feel that like he has a way of being able to like move his eyebrows kind of like so they would wiggle. When you look in his eyes, even when he tries to be stern, it's like he has, the only way I can describe his eyes are like laughing. He is wearing,
I think you might be connected to Brandy, but I'm not sure. She said that sounds like my kid's dad. He had a cane with a taser on the end. Definitely is Daryl. And then she said back pain. He had cancer in his bone and his, I think, neck surgery is what she meant to type there.
Okay, Brandy, would you understand? So the gentleman that's stepping forward, he is showing me that he would have been in his late 70s to early 80s when he passed. So that he is making me very aware of. Also, he's showing me that he's taking out his teeth. So he did have false teeth. The style of clothing that he is showing me, so it looks like a pullover sweater vest, and he would wear it over like a dress shirt.
Okay, so Brandy is saying it was back surgery, but no, she's saying he wasn't that old.
Okay.
And Kat, since you said it may be my husband, I'm assuming it's not, since I doubt your husband's that old. I'm just guessing. But Brandy was saying he was 65. He had false teeth, yes, and he did have a vest.
Okay, Brandy, would you understand the hairstyle? So I do know that, like, with certain illnesses like cancer, it would have aged him.
Okay. And also Shauna Lee said sounds like my grandpa, and Kat said it could be my father. So let's keep going and see if we have some more things that can
So
she's saying Mac Dad Cutie called it. Mac Dad Cut, he called it.
okay. Yeah, so his hair was gray. The bit of hair that he had, he does show me his hands. So he does wear a gold wedding band, but his hands had age spots. So I'm just, by him showing me the age spots, I do feel that like the age that he is showing me is his correct age at passing.
She is saying yes to gray hair.
I'll see if he can give me anything like memory wise.
And she said, yeah, he did have those age spots. And so is Kat also saying yes. But Brandy's saying that the cancer kind of aged him. So maybe that's why he's saying he was much older than the number you're giving. Like she said he was 65, but you're saying 70 something, but maybe that's why.
So the one thing he is making me aware of is because he was showing me he did have to take pills. He's showing, it looks like a pill organizer, and then he points to his heart and kind of does this line. I do feel that at one point he did have open heart surgery, because I do see the scarring here, and I keep hearing pacemaker. So I do believe that he did have a pacemaker.
So Brandy or Kat, does that make up for you? Make sense for either of you? Does everything still match, Kat? Yes, Kat said yes. And Brandy is saying yes, and my girl helped him with the pills. He had a quintuplet bypass. Whew. And then Shauna says, nope, that's not my grandpa. Okay. So we're somewhere between Kat and Brandy.
I'm just going to see, because I do, as I see the older gentleman, I do see another gentleman stepping, is like really close to him. So I'm going to see if I can separate the two.
Okay. They could both be together for sure.
So the older man that first came, he is still showing me how I described him. Like he was kind of stooped over. And then the other gentleman that's next to him, he's standing a little bit more straighter, but he does show me that he has a cane as well. The other gentleman, so the first one that I see, like when I say that his hair, so it comes to here and it's down and like all the top is like bald. The other gentleman, I feel that his hair, it was more like just a little circle was starting to go on top.
Yeah, Brandy, I think it's your kid's dad, but I also think it's Kat's father because she is also saying everything matches. So
Okay, so right now I'm just gonna go to Kat and then I'll
okay,
bring through what Brandy's husband has to say.
okay.
So, Kat, would you understand him saying, my girl, you're beautiful. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you." Would you understand that when he talks, he likes to talk with his hands? And I feel like his voice is a little bit more gravelly. He's would you understand? So he's bringing up a memory. I see him sitting. It looks like almost like one of those lazy boy recliners, and I can see like younger children around him. Would you understand him? It almost looks like he takes like a sock. I don't want to say it's a sock off of his foot, but it looks like a men's dress sock, and he would put it over his hands and he would take his teeth out and kind of put them in and like
Oh my
kind
God.
of
Oh my God.
for the kids.
Oh my God. Okay. By the way, so Kat is saying, yeah, my husband would say that. And she's saying, yes, that's my husband. Now, Kat, she's pulling in towards the spirit that is close to you.
Yes.
So
Sorry about
the
that.
two men that she had together, one was Kat's and one was Brandy's. Okay.
So I am with you, Kat,
She
right
said I
now.
wouldn't know the sock teeth.
Okay. Would you understand him just having this just real playful personality about him? He even when he was going through illnesses or any type of hardship, he had a way of turning it around to just sorry, I'm just asking him. He's saying that he would rather look at the bright side and move forward than be stuck in the mud and dwelling on something that he couldn't change.
So she's saying my husband was a joker, my father is a jerk. So Kat, was your father the older guy in his like 60s, 70s, with a cane that hunched over? I'm trying to remember what other
So the
dentures.
older gentleman that I have with me right now, so he did wear dentures. His nose, he had it was like a really hooked, so quite a larger bump. It was kind of straight. He when he shows me his hands, he does have age spots on them.
She's saying he had heart issues and a cane, mostly bald. That's my father.
Okay.
Yep. That's what you said. That's what you said. Yep.
So your father is saying to you that even though he didn't always show it, he is proud of you and how far you have come. He says, "My girl, I know you miss your husband, but he's all right." He goes, "I know that some of the things that I've done that we didn't always see eye to eye," but he says, let's leave that in the past. He goes, "I know that I made mistakes." He goes, "And the most thing that I could ask you is for forgiveness, but I'm not going to rush you." He goes, "You'll have to find that out on your own." And he goes, if you are able to forgive me, I would like that. But he goes, I understand where and what I have done. He said he's letting you know that he is owing up to the mistakes he has made. Would you understand him saying the sins of a father, do not carry them on with you?
So let me talk to this for a second, Sarah, because I feel
Sure.
like this is really hard, because sometimes this just happened to me in a private event this weekend that I was hired for. A grandfather came through that had abused a woman, and I had to really help her get there. Even though he was apologizing, she was just angry, angry, angry. And even though she kept saying, well, I'm not angry, but and she just kept like pushing him away. And I was like, well, first of all, if a spirit has hurt you, okay, and then they have a karmic debt to you, first of all. So they're going to be around you. They may not show their face, they may stay hidden, they may continue to try to come through and apologize to you. And frankly, forgiving them is not about them. It's about you. And that's always true. So um so we have to remember that, number two, they're not human anymore. They're not going to come through and abuse you from the other side. Like, that's ridiculous to imagine that's what's going to happen. That's not what's going to happen. They're going to come through and probably apologize, because now their soul lingers on the other side, outside of your soul, and sort of tries to heal that. Okay? And so it sounds like that's what Sarah's saying, is that he hopes that you can heal. Um, and remember, it's really hard, Kat. Hey, I totally get it. I have people that abuse the shit out of me, and it's taken me a long time to forgive them. A really long time. I have an awful mother, and she's not dead yet. Um, but I don't talk to her. I don't know how I'll feel when she's dead. But, I'm just saying that, like, there are awful people out there, but remember, it's the human condition. Babies are not born evil. Has anyone ever met an evil baby? It's because always. Okay, Kat, it's no problem. Here's just one way to help you find compassion, okay? Always, whatever they did to you, whatever it was, what doesn't matter. Jeffrey Dahmer, for instance, they did it because they were abused. And it's like a disease of our culture and keeps getting passed down generation after generation after generation. And so we just have to take that and try to find compassion, try to harvest compassion. So, Kat, I'm sorry that you're suffering, and it sounds like she just came out of a PTSD therapy session, which would make sense why he's coming through, because you're dealing with the trouble of it.
So Kat, just before your father leaves, because he is saying that he didn't mean to upset you, that he just wanted you to know that he does hear you. He goes, I hear you when you do speak out to me, even in anger and even not understanding. And he goes, and I'm sorry that I left you without telling you the reason why I was the way I am. He said, I was brought up in a generation where we didn't talk about it. We do. Would you understand the saying, boys don't cry? Men don't show feelings. He goes, that is just what I was taught. Be a strong man, stand tall. He goes, I lost that. He's just saying that I lost the goodness that could have been. But he is saying that he is very proud of you and where have you come through with your life. regarding what you went through.
Congratulations, Kat, for being a catalyst, a person to stop the abuse. Well done. It's not an easy role to live. I can be witness to that.
So, just before your father leaves, he says that even though you might not understand or you might not want to take it, he does love you. He's always loved you. He just didn't know how to show it.
Good job, Kat. See, everyone's even congratulating you in the group. People are even saying, well done. Samantha said, well done. Break the cycle. You're so strong, Kat. And, yeah, healing is hard. It's hard to forgive. It takes time, it takes a lot of work, and it looks like you're doing it. So, Kat, talk about a validation from the other side. If you wondered if the therapy was worth doing, I'd say 100 million points for that. Great job. Thanks for doing that, because when you do that, Kat, and the fact that you didn't pass it on to your son and won't pass it on to your grandchildren, that's worth 1 million points. It's worth $1 million in my world, because that means that your grandchildren won't be walking around like little narcissists. So, because you've stopped the cycle. So, well done.
Yes.
Well done, because it makes the world a better place. When we heal ourselves, we heal forward and backwards. And that's sorry, I just think we all should be thanking Kat right now. We should be thanking every single person that heals themselves from abuse and stops the cycle. Because when we stop the cycle, man, we help everybody.
That's so true. And I'm very proud of you, Kat. It it takes a lot to stand up and say no more. So I'm very proud that you are doing that and creating a whole new generation of healthy individuals who are able to express their emotions and feelings and not be scared to do that. So I'm very proud of you as well.
Kat said nobody deserves to walk on eggshells. I'd rather learn to walk on water, more like Jesus, less like Dahmer. Exactly, Kat. Exactly, Kat. Shauna Lynn, I think this is really wise. I'm finding healing from the abuse from my boyfriend that passed by speaking to him and communicating it with him from the other side. I feel like he is helping me heal. And sometimes we need the person to be on the other side to totally heal from it. I totally believe that's true, because sometimes we just can't meet in this human form. We just can't.
That's, I really feel like this is turning into a year of firsts, for not just for myself, but for all of us. And, you will know when you reach that year of first. And what I mean by year of first is being strong enough to take those steps and doing things that you wouldn't either think you would be able to do, or to do things that you used to do that you didn't think you're able to do again. And before I move on to Brandy's daughter's dad,
I think it is her husband, but I'm not sure.
I just want to say, for me right now, this is my year of first. And by that, I mean, when my son first passed, I thought that was it, like that I wasn't able to do anything. For one, every year we used to go to the fairgrounds. That was my vacation for them. And then COVID hit and that was shut down. So we weren't able to. And last year they opened again and I was bitter. I was mad because I was thinking, how dare they open it? Well, this summer, I grew the strength to take my daughters. And we've been doing things that we did as a family before that I didn't think that we'd be able to do again. But then I just learned that, my son is still with us. So congratulations to anyone else who is on their year of first. And for those who are still not there yet, it's okay. Take your time. Be gentle with yourself. It'll happen. So,
Absolutely. And look at this, Sarah. Kristen Lamb says she's with you. She said perfectly said, I do believe that it's a year of first, and it resonates with me. So,
oh,
and
perfect.
Anna said, I'm sorry for your loss. You have an amazing gift. I'm facing my first year. He's only been gone 5 months, and days like today, I find it hard to get out of bed. I'm amazed by your strength. Well, Shauna, I hope we can inspire you to get out of bed and have a snack and at least move around your house.
Yes, Shauna. And don't, it'll happen. It'll happen. Be gentle with yourself. Take those moments. Grieve when you need to grieve. Stay in bed all day on those days you need to. But then on those days that you're like, I can do this, I can get out of bed.
Yeah,
Okay,
every day is a first day for me these days. I appreciate you. Yeah,
for sure.
Kat, it's definitely an intense day today, by the way. Astrologically, it's a full moon and we're in a grand cross, and it's going to be intense for the next couple of months, you guys. So,
So now, because I do believe I do have Brandy's husband. Brandy, would you understand him saying, so he's mentioning your daughter, and he goes, my daughter, she's beautiful, she's strong, but she's stubborn just like her mom. He goes, I see you too. And the thing that makes me want to laugh is you two are so strong-headed. He shows me, you, and her, and I'm not too sure if your daughter has longer hair, but this is how I see her. And it's like you guys have your foreheads together like Taurus, bull by the horns. That's what he's mentioning.
exactly. He's saying, yeah, she said, yes, she is. She's a Taurus.
So the one thing that he is saying that his message for you and for, did he call your daughter his baby girl? Or so I keep hearing my baby girl, my doll. He says you two just need to learn to breathe again, breathe in each other's spaces. He goes, you two are a team. He does mention that you both help take care of him in his sickness. So did either you or your daughter, so
So,
I'm
first
seeing
of all,
him.
he was also a Taurus, apparently. And then he did.
So did your daughter, so I'm seeing him kind of like sitting on a bed, and I can smell it. Smells almost like that A535 rub, that like really mentholy smell. Did you kind of rub it on his lower back? And I see it looks like you're putting almost like I want to say like a Band-Aid or something over, because it kind of helped him. So he is mentioning that he is so grateful for everything that you both did. He says that,
Yes to the back rub.
he says, Brandy, he says, you count yourself short, woman. That's his words. He calls you a woman. He goes, I wish that you could look in the mirror and see what we all see. He says, if you want to see a selfless woman, a woman that puts others before herself, he goes, just look in the mirror, dear. He goes, I know that we didn't often see eye to eye. He says, there is times where, honestly, he goes, I'm surprised. He's like, it was like you put a cat and a dog together. Sometimes we'd get along great, and other days it was just like, no. He goes, she was there. She did what she had to do to help me. And he goes, I know I was a thorn in her side. Well, he says something else, but I'm editing. He says she'll understand what I said. But for right now, he says, the one thing that he really wants for you and your daughter is to be able to live in harmony again. He goes, Brandy, he goes, I know you've been hurting. He goes, it's scary right now for you. He goes, but you're a strong woman. Don't count yourself short. He goes, you and our baby girl have so much more living to do. He goes, I just wish you two wouldn't push each other away and to come together again. He goes, I'm trying really hard to give you both those signs. He goes, please tell my little girl, Daddy is still around. I still hear her. Sorry, he's getting a little bit emotional. He goes, I hear her. He goes, I want to wipe her tears away. He goes, but I'm trying the best that I can from here. He goes, Brandy, I hear you too. He goes, if I could give you the world, he said, I'd give it to you in a heartbeat. He's like, but right now, he goes, you need to take a breath and stand up. He goes, would you understand him saying to pull your big girl panties up and cha-cha-cha, keep going?
Aww. She hears him crying still, and she said, thanks, Daryl. We did butt heads, but he lived in my suite till the end, and I held high hand while he took his breath. I held his hand while he took his last breath. It was life-changing for me, though.
He said that lots. So, Brandy, the message that is coming loud and clear, and I hope you were able to take it when he said, you were such a selfless woman that you put others before you. And he's so grateful for everything that you have done for him in his life. You made him a father. You made him. So would you understand him saying you made him accountable for his actions? You made him the man that he needed to be. And he's so thankful for you and for her. And he says, tell my baby girl that he goes, I'm not crying. I'm okay. I love her. I hear her tears. He goes, I hear everything. And then he does put his hands, he goes, within reason. He's like, I'm not. So I don't know why he right away mentions this. He's like, I'm not sitting here like digging through your brains. He goes, I hear what you guys want me to hear. So I'm not too sure if that was something maybe you were thinking or your daughter, but he just says that I'm proud of both my girls. He goes, but just come together and live in harmony again. He goes, you guys might feel like you don't have anyone else in the whole wide world. He goes, but you guys have each other. Build that relationship. Keep it strong. He goes, would you understand him saying that your daughter is a part of you? She is a part of your heart as you are hers. So with that, he does send that. He says he sends his loves, his hugs, his kisses. Did he like to listen to country music? Because like as he was saying that, he all of a sudden starts saying, all my love, all my kisses. And maybe that wasn't country. Sorry, that's an older, like 1940s. All my love, all my kisses, everything that you've been wishing. So that's how he has a nice little sense of humor as well. But I will leave you with that, Brandy. He does say that.
I agree that it's beautiful reading. Go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Sophie. So
he said that's Kenny Chesney. He loved him. Okay. And
Thank you.
Sophie said that's a beautiful reading, and lots of people in the group. Corrine Paul said so sweet. And Christine McCaig said this is beautiful. I need this. And I'm so choked up. Anne Marie said I'm so choked up, bless. And lots of people are very in support and love your reading. Christine Nagel said that makes me tear up. That was amazing. Well done, Sarah. I think you did a great job. And Brandy said, "Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. That was Daryl for sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you."
Oh, you're welcome.
And Chelsea Ann said, "A great reading. What a privilege to listen." I agree. And the thing is that um, Sarah's offers readings, and you can book them at her website. And you can just book at Psychic Insights. And that's what's nice about this, about doing lives, is that you can get to know the medium a little bit before you go spending money with them. And the thing is that with Psychic Insights, it's guaranteed. So, you can always just let us know if you're not happy. And we'll work with you. Okay. So we'll give you your money back, or I'll give you a coupon to do a reading with someone else, depending if, oh, it was okay. I don't think that'll happen with Sarah, but you never know. So we always make that our rule. Um, so just so you know that, and you can go to her website. It's in the links. It's in the comments. Um, okay. Hi, Degenerates. I don't think I'm in the right room, so we'll check back another day. Okay, Degenerates. I think her name was actually Joe. Um, I agree, Susie K. That's a beautiful message. The whole thing is beautiful. And friends, so remember, if your spirit didn't come through, that's okay. You might wanna book a private reading. And remember, if you did get a reading today, it's always polite to write a review in the group, so that because you should never take in the spirit world, you should never, in psychics, in spirit and magic, you should never take from someone. You should always give in return. So if you got a free reading today, um please make sure um that you write a review in the group. Brandy, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, but Brandy asked a good question. When booking a reading, what if you don't have Skype? Are there other options? Well, there's Zoom, and Zoom is free. So I don't know. But then she said, what if you don't have either? But you can download Zoom for free, Brandy, if you don't have either. So are you not willing to get Zoom? If you're not willing to get Zoom, I guess you can message Sarah and we'll work on it, but we can't record it that way.
Yeah.
And if you just get on Zoom, which is free for you, we have the paid account. So you just sign up for a free Zoom account. You don't even have to give them your email. And you can just meet in a browser. You don't even have to download the app if you don't want. And you can use a browser and you can just log in and do the reading, and then Sarah will record it and send it to you. So that's the only problem. If you don't go in Zoom, we can't record it. It's impossible. I don't know how else we would record it. So
Do I have some time for another?
yeah, you can go ahead. One more. Yep.
So I do have a lady coming through. I want to say that. So I want to put her maybe late 50s and mid 60s. She takes great care of her skin. Her hair, so how I'm seeing it, she has it kind of in an updo. I feel that she would curl it. It's a very light blonde. I keep on. So the one thing with this lady, she adored Dolly Parton. I do feel that at one point in her life, she visited Dolly World, or that was like one of her, like, she had to go through her her wishes. She would wear like the bigger chunky bracelets. she liked wearing frosted looking eyeshadow and pink lipstick. One of the songs that she keeps on bringing up to me is Dolly Parton's song Silver and Gold. Excuse my singing because I'm just going to quickly sing that so maybe it resonates for those who don't know it. Well, I met an old man walking down the street. His clothes were torn and tattered, with sandals on his feet. So that is the starting of that song. I do feel that that song was played for her at her services. So how she is also showing me, so she had really nice cheekbones, very petite nose. Her whole self was petite. She did like to have her nails done. I feel that she was able to grow her own nails naturally and shape them, and she would have wore a lighter pink frosted nail polish. So with her, her makeup was, she's telling me that her children and her grandchildren always said that her makeup was dated, but she says, I know what I like and I like what I know. She goes, I was comfortable in it, her style. So she is showing me her wearing jeans. I see a white sweatshirt. So across the shirt, it says Dolly Parton, my mother, Melissa Nicole.
Melissa Nicole, I think this is her mother-in-law. She's saying this resonates with me. It's my mother-in-law.
Would you understand, Melissa? She just had this bubbly personality. Like she would be, if she was even walking down to the mailbox, if she saw a new neighbor or something, she was always like, hi, how are you doing? She was the type that would like bake a cake, bake a pie, bake cookies to welcome the new neighbor. She's laughing because she says that in her heart of hearts, she was doing it to be a nice neighbor, but people would say that she was just being nosy. But when she says that they were saying that she was just being nosy, it wasn't in a mean way.
Right. Yeah.
Would you be able
Bianca,
to?
I'm laughing at Bianca. Wow, that's very specific. That's Sarah's style. Sarah is very specific.
Yeah. Would you understand that? So when she was a little bit younger, and maybe, but she liked to wear. She's showing me these high heels, and they look like a satin finish. She had one that was almost like aqua blue, and then one that was pink. So I really feel that like, oh, Nicole. So Melissa Nicole said, I'm not sure if she was a big Dolly fan, but had the chest and was petite. Okay. So that's funny that you say that because.
And she kept to herself. She wasn't really.
Okay.
Okay. She wasn't very friendly, I guess.
So this lady that I'm seeing, like, she was like petite, and she kind of shows me, she says that she kept her figure in shape. She goes, even in my later years, she goes, what's the, she goes, the thing with us women. She goes,
Melissa, okay, so hold on a second. We have to clear up a little bit of a confusion. Because Melissa's saying she was friendly, but she wasn't nosy. But that's exactly what Sarah said, Melissa. That's exactly what she said.
Yeah, no, she wasn't nosy. But people would tease her for being nosy.
Maybe her neighbors thought she was nosy. But anyway, Mandy Bourne said, I think that might be my Auntie Betty, who was friends with Dolly Parton.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. Did your So before Mandy, would you understand? Did your Auntie Betty kind of like style her hair a little bit like Dolly Parton? So like that's the vibe that I'm getting. Um, so with this lady as well, she did know her way around a kitchen, which she's saying, she goes, even though she liked to dress herself up and, look good, she still knew how to keep a home. And in that saying that, so she's showing me that instead of doing like the mop with the mop and broom, she would actually go on like with a sponge and like mop her floors like that. So Mandy Bourne, yes.
She said yes. I think she was saying yes to what you said before the mop thing.
Okay. Sorry. So she's very excited. I do feel that I'm more pulled towards Mandy because she got excited when I said her name, Betty. So I'll just
Oh, her name is Betty. You got the name Betty? Okay. Oh,
yes,
when you said
I
Betty,
saw
when you
earlier.
read the message, you got excited. Okay. I
Yes.
get it. Mm-hmm.
So, Mandy, especially like when you were a younger girl, were you and your aunt quite close? So I'm not too sure.
She said my auntie lived in Dollyville.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool. Okay. So Mandy, as a child, and I'm not too sure, because the child that she's showing me with her, like not in spirit, it's a memory she's showing me. So this little girl, I would put her maybe about 8, 9-ish. She's taller, skinny. Her hair is like a lighter brown. I see her wearing bangs. Her hair is pulled in a ponytail, and she has a big pink bow. And she's wearing just t-shirts and shorts. Did you spend summers with her at Dollyville? She's just saying, she goes, would you understand? Did she kind of, when she would say your name, it sounded kind of like a sing song. How I'm hearing her saying, she's my Mandy Candy. And it was like she would try to make little melodies for you, but the words didn't go together. She said that she wasn't really that great at rhyming.
Sounds like Auntie Betty was possibly from the UK before she moved to the USA.
Okay. So you wouldn't have spent that much time with her as a child then? Just going to see if so.
But she's saying yes, I think to her singing her name or whatever. She's like, "Yep, that's my auntie with the big heart."
Okay. So I know that you said that your aunt lived in Dollyville. Would you understand that in her home she had a lot of like knickknacks and figurines? Some were related to Dolly Parton. I do see some Elvis figurines, and then I see it almost looks like my grandmother had these too, but they're like really from like the 70s, and they're porcelain. It looks like that little pink poodle with like the different like hats. This one has like a little top hat, and it kind of has like a little shine to it. Would you understand if she had these? Did you inherit some of them?
Well, before you asked about the inheritance, she said yes, with a big smiley. So I think she did at least have them. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I'm not too sure if you have them or who has them right now, but your aunt is saying, my goodness, don't forget to dust them, and you have to dust them nicely. They're delicate, delicate. So that's what she keeps doing with her hands. They're delicate. She goes, I would dust them all the time. So she just wants to say, I hope that you enjoy them as much as I did. And when you look at them, just know that I'm there, standing there, enjoying them with you.
That she inherited her ring.
Okay. So she is saying, she goes, she's like, she goes, think of when you wear my ring, I'm holding your hands just like when you were little. Did you often, when you were small, like when you got scared or something, would you understand your aunt saying, just take my hand, it'll be okay, I got you? So she is just saying that, still now she has you, she watches out for you. She says, don't be scared to make decisions. She goes, that's the thing with women in our family. At first, we feel that we are too timid to make decisions that need to be made. But then once we get that ball rolling, we're a force to be reckoned with. So she says,
She said, yeah, she said, I used to sit on her lap.
So when you said that, I just saw her holding you and her pressing her face next to yours. And would you understand her saying, you're just the prettiest little thing? But her message to you right now, Mandy, is, have courage. Don't be afraid to use your voice. She's saying, just like Dolly, find your voice and sing out your truth. She goes, I know you have it in you. She goes, I love you so very much. You make me proud always. And she goes, I don't know if I told her that enough, but
she's saying, oh my God, yes.
She goes, I don't know if I told her that enough, but she goes, I am so proud of her. She's a strong woman. She was a strong little girl. She goes, she was like a daughter to me and still is. She's telling you, you were the daughter that was born from her heart. And remember that. With that, she's leaving you. She goes, I'm giving you all my love and kisses. I'm not too sure if she did this when you were a child, but I see her kiss both your eyelids and the top of your forehead and then boop your nose. But that is her message to you, is that she's just so proud of you, and to find your voice and let it be heard loud and proud. So I hope, Mandy, that was able to help you. I do have another.
Go ahead, sir.
Spirit coming forward. So this little guy shows me, he's a little boy. I do feel that how he's showing me right now is that he's bald. I do feel that he might have went through, I keep hearing like leukemia, and how he is showing me right now, he's dressed in, it looks like the pajamas that they give children at the hospital. There's some stripes on them. Around his eyes, it's shadowed, but he has the biggest, beautiful eyes. I do feel that he has a little bit of freckling, not a lot, so you'd have to look closely, but when he smiled, he just has this little dimple and this toothy grin. I do. So he shows me him like that, but now he shows me, it's like he does this turnaround and he has a gorgeous full head of hair. It almost reminds me of like a sandy, blondish brown. His eyes are bright. They So when I look at his eyes, they almost look like a hazel. But he's just saying, he goes, "I'm all right, Mom." He goes, "My hair grew back." He goes, "I have eyebrows again."
Mandy said, "Thank you so much. That was 100%."
Oh, you're welcome, Mandy.
Yeah.
So this little boy, he's also showing me, and at the age he is showing me, I do feel that he might have been about 7 to 9 years old. He's smaller. Um, I'm not too sure if because of the treatments that he did, but I'm almost feeling like a pain in my knee and um, down from my right knee downwards. But he does say that he used to love coloring dinosaurs. He was big into dinosaurs and big into space. Uh, would anybody be able to take him? So
No, not yet.
So I do feel that he did have to spend a lot of time in the hospital, but I feel that his parents, they tried to make it as pleasant as they could. I see a lot of times that like they would decorate his room in the hospital. I do see that. I feel as a mother, and I feel it might have been some of his nurses, but you would hang, it looked like planets and stars for him.
Not yet. A lot of people really loved your last reading. Christine was saying, "You're very amazing. You're very detailed." I agree.
Thank you,
I
Christina.
agree, Christine.
So with this little guy, he's kind of getting shy now, but he does say that if his mama is here or watches it later, that he's all right. He's no longer in pain. And he does hear you, and he does send you butterflies. I'm not too sure if, because when he says butterflies and then he says kisses and he shows.
Yes, he said, I think she said about 7 or so, but don't always get hung up on the age. Does everything else match?
So the one thing that he is showing me, he goes, "My mom taught me butterfly kisses." So I see a woman and she puts like her eye really close to his cheek and like flutters her eyes so the eyelash would tickle his cheek, and she would say that's butterfly kisses, and that he would do the same. Stephanie, would you be able to take him? I'm not too sure if you need a recap, so quickly.
She said I have a cousin, it may be, but I'd have to ask the family about space and dinosaurs. Well, it's recorded, Stephanie. You can always catch the replay and like just fast forward to the end until you see your thing pop up on the bottom, and then you're right around that time, and you could just hone in on that. Okay.
He does.
She says he was into like science and math.
He was a very bright boy too. He's saying that even the times when he had to stay in the hospital, his mom would make sure that he kept up on his learning, but he says, even though I would sometimes grumble about it, he goes, I like to do it. But he goes, that's what little boys do. He so sorry, I'm getting kind of emotional at that part. He goes, a lot of times, because he spent a lot of times in the hospital, that he couldn't do what little boys did. And he's showing me running and jumping. He goes, so sometimes he would pretend to be difficult.
That's exactly the age she said, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Well,
He would be difficult, not because he wanted to make it more difficult for his mother or anything. I do feel he spent a lot of time with his mom, but he wanted her not to feel bad because her little boy couldn't do what other little boys did. But he's saying, Mama, he goes, I am doing all of that now. He's showing me he's running, he's kicking the ball.
she said that the treatments made him really weak.
He's saying, I'm doing all of that now. He goes, I come to you often. He goes, I hear you cry, Mom. He goes, I wish that I could take your tears from you, but know that you were the best mom and so strong for everything that you went through. He goes, I could count on you always. So Stephanie, if
maybe Stephanie's just got to carry it back to to his mom. That's what it sounds like. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. I think you're supposed to carry it back, Stephanie. Thank goodness. I'm pretty sure you're a pretty reliable person that could do that.
He's just saying too that he goes, so I'm not too sure, Stephanie, if you would visit him in the hospital as well, but he's mentioning an aunt. Would you sneak him like ice cream in that?
His mom's my godmother. She said, I'll tell her.
He was saying that he goes, that someone would sneak him like snacks and like ice cream. He goes, because sometimes some of the treatments that he had, he wasn't supposed to have those. But he goes, I know now that it wasn't so much them sneaking it to me, but getting permission from the nurses and that, but making it a big deal. And he said that he loved that, you know, even though he was really aware of his sickness and that, but he says everyone around me tried their best to make me feel like I was okay. So that is his message for you and for his mother, is to please let her know that he is okay and he does visit her often. He's mentioning, he says that I know my mom can feel me when I wrap my arms around her. And just to please let her know that, yes, it is me.
She said that he passed before I was born, but always felt like I knew him through stories and just feeling like he was around. Sweet.
Oh, that's so sweet. But yes, he's just saying that he does love his mom and he's okay.
My mom was his godmother and worked as a nurse and would check on him often.
Oh,
okay.
So, and that would honestly, that would make sense from what I was seeing, the mother and a nurse doing that for him. He's just very grateful for your mom as well, Stephanie. He said that she was a nice lady and would help him. So I'm not too sure if you can ask your mom, but I do feel that at times, because of some of the treatments, it would really hurt his legs and that. He's mentioning how sometimes doctors would get frustrated and kind of try to move him, but your mom was always gentle And it was like when his mom wasn't there, she would come in and be like a superhero for him and tell them to just back off, that she has it. And she would be really gentle in moving him. So he is very grateful for that as well. And he's saying thank you for, he goes, thank you for being there for my mom. So I'm not too sure if you spent a lot of time with his mother as a child as well, but he's just saying that, you know, you did give her that spark back. So he is very thankful for that. I'm just going to thank him for coming.
She just said, family says always about food. I'm sure they did that. Food makes it better. And then, yes, she was able to be there to support him through tougher treatments like bone marrow. Okay. Sounds uncomfortable.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to bring that through, Sarah, for Stephanie. Well done. Well done. I think you did a great job, Sarah. And this is why I always say to people that have heavy grief, is that having a reading with Sarah could be really helpful for those people, because Sarah's been through so much losing a child. I feel like that's like, I don't know. I hate to compare, but it feels like it's really ultimate grief, losing your child. Maybe it's because I'm a parent and I have 2 grandchildren and I just can't imagine losing them. I don't know, just feels impossible. Like, it's like when you give birth to a child, you imagine that that they'll outlive you, that you'll die someday and leave them behind, and you never imagine it to be that way. So anyway, so to me it feels really hard, and I agree, Shauna Lynn, that Sarah's really great, and I think Sarah's deeply compassionate and able to hold people in their deep in everything that goes on. Shauna, I seen your question before. If you'd like to become an apprentice, it's easy. All you have to do is message me directly, and we'll do a little agreement. I'll add you to the list, and bam, you're an apprentice. That's all required, because apprentices don't charge money. Apprentices are free. So Stephanie said thank you, and maybe she'll get back to you later about if the mom can confirm a lot of that stuff. And friends, if you came here today hoping to have a reading and you didn't, you can book with Sarah directly. And if you did get a free reading, I would suggest that you put the reading in the group and that you write a review. It's really the best thing that you can do for Sarah as a return. Of course, you can book a reading with Sarah. That's another way to give back. And just enjoy these lives and stuff. You can always write a review about that, and even commenting and making reference to the live, because sometimes there's like people in the group that totally miss these lives. I have no idea how they do that, but they do. So if you can, share it or share it with your friends or family, we appreciate that. So yes. I hope you had a great day and have a great rest of your day. Be careful today. Try not to lose your temper. It's kind of a intense day with a full moon in Cancer. Could also explain why some of us feel a little like lead. So if you feel a little like lead, just try to give yourself a lot of compassion. Do you have anything else you want to say, Sarah?
No, just thank you everyone for your support and your patience and your kindness. Honestly, I can't wait to hear from you again, whether you want to book a private reading with me or I'll see you on another live as well. I really feel that this is such an honor for me to be able to connect you with your loved ones and just giving you that hope and knowledge that this is just one phase of us being on this physical plane. And, we go on.
That's right. Kat said thank you again.
You're welcome.
Delugeras said thank you. And lots of people in the group. Samantha said Sarah is amazing. Linda said love and light to Hollis and Sarah. Thank you for sharing your gifts. Amazing. And Melissa Nicole said yes. So thank you all for being here today. Thank you for sharing your gifts, says Chelsea Ann.
Oh,
And
thank
I
you.
hope you have a great day. And keep saying your prayers, build your altars, post a picture of your altar. I have a post up in the group looking for people to post a picture of the altar of your past loved one. I'd love to see pictures of it. All right.
Yes.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.